All right. Mic check, mic check. Here we go. Here we go. All right, nice. So we finally take out some liquidity here. Hope everybody's having a good day. My little kiddo, my son is sick, so I will be less talkative today just because I have to be aware of what he got going on. So, but anyway, I got my levels set. I'm looking at obviously short potential. So I'm gonna let this 30-minute candle close here and see what type of structure we can get. We've taken out this Asia high. Right, yeah, we got a nice sweep of this Asia high. We're filling in this imbalance from here, let's do this, make it easier. Say yeah, so overnight session pretty much gaps lower, right? And then we have need you to all right, so yeah, we gap lower, and when I look around, I want to see where the selling pressure pretty much started. It was from this up close candle here. We get a nice push up and then an engulfing move lower. So this level right here is pretty important. This opening price of this bearish candle, price can get back underneath there. That would be ideal for shorts. All right, I don't know why this won't add my drawings to it, but how about this? Stupid, yeah. Some stuff is stupid, but thankfully we can figure that out and work around it. All right, so there goes my drawings. So we're good here. I'm looking for any rejection to short. I love the power of 3 that's in motion right here. Zoom in on NAS and then zoom in on ES over here. So the power of 3 that's in motion, we see the new week open lower, right? We got this gap lower. We push higher here. We attempted to go higher last night around 8 p.m. and we tap into this level right here, crash lower. So with this breaker structure, of course, you're just looking for a pullback and then continuation lower. All right, we get 930 opens higher. We're getting that manipulation move here, that Judas type of swing. All right, so naturally you would expect price to start reversing. You don't want to jump the gun just in case the market wants to pretend to be bullish today. All right, it could happen. Everyone's online talking about selling this and selling that, so you could see a fake move higher for the first couple days before the crash, or you could see an easy sell setup. So I'm ready for whatever is presented. However, my bias is bearish, as mentioned weeks and weeks ago, right? Boom, boom, boom. 30-minute chart. Yeah, I like this level here. This base, right? Order block, close underneath it. There's a lot of selling pressure in here. We could work all the way up and fill this gap potentially, but we'll just have to wait and see, right? 5 minutes. So if this 5-minute candle can start the process of closing through these bullish candles, then that'll open the door for lower. Otherwise, I am chilling. We have 9:30 open. Let me mark that off. 9:30 open, 10 o'clock open. And you can see that we are closing through this bearish candle right here. So this right here could be a bullish profile already out the gate. Price could want to go ahead and fill in this gap. I'll mark this off as liquidity. Price could definitely fill that in. Same thing over here. Let's see what the 5-minute looks like. All right, so over here it's not as clean, but we do get a slight closure above it, so I'll mark it off, but not necessarily ideal. I want to see an aggressive close through this bearish candle, but for now, that's all we have to work with. So see what that ends up doing. Potential gap fill here. Take that. Take that. And we're chilling. We are chilling. Asia highs have been swept, showing a little bit of rejection here. And the waiting game begins. I hope everyone had a good weekend, man. I'm looking to build off of last week, or I'm sorry, last month. February was fabulous. Looking to build off of last month. And yeah, on another note, I hope you guys saw that Apex has finally the joined the party. We have end of day drawdown on Apex for the first time ever, which is massive. So that'll be on my mind when I think about getting more prop firm accounts. That's actually huge news. All right, so it looks like we're gonna just continue climbing higher here. Notice we are not interested in going lower. Price is literally just wasting time here. Why won't this translate over to? I don't get it, bro. So lame. It's not saving my work here. I don't know, man. I don't know, kid. This is stupid. But yeah, the waiting game begins. I will be sitting here just waiting for a clean short. Right now, it looks like price wants to continue higher. I'll redraw this area here, which I'm not sure why. Trading views being so lame. 9:30, 10 o'clock, save it. For whatever reason, this won't save. Save. Yeah, I don't know why. I should be able to load this. There it is. All right, now it's working. All right, so here is price driving back into this area. If YM gave us a bullish profile as well, I'll be looking to buy this, but okay, no. Nice. YM is not pretending to be bullish, thankfully. I really don't want to be buying, to be honest. Much rather just short, see how that plays out. Notice there's no bearish flip here in this range of candles. So that's a good start here. Looks like this area may hold up, but maybe we get like a push to this high here, sweep this high, and then we start seeing some bearish pressure. All right, so yeah, not gonna entertain these buys, but we've already drawn up this area. We could say that price is gonna drive into here, make a new high, and there it goes, new high being made. I will literally be on chill mode today. Like I mentioned, my son's sick, and just don't want to be eager to trade. we already know the volume should be really, really good because of what's happening across the nation. But you really don't want to feel like you just have to jump on the charts and trade right away. If we're patient, the setups will pop up and literally fall in our lap. So, what is so? All right, yeah. So that's my take. Power of three over everything, right? We see the weekly open, push up slightly, move lower. Now we're sweeping this high here. We get 10 a.m. about to open shortly, so I would love to see 10 a.m. open higher and then start to collapse, opening the door for a massive short. We got crypto pretending to be bullish as well. And rightfully so, right? Everyone, like I said, everyone and their mom talking about how they're gonna just short the market, short the market, short the market. So what is the market gonna do? It's gonna analyze all the people in their shorts and it's gonna go right for their stop losses. It's gonna go right for their stop. And that's what we've seen exactly right at 9:30. Price immediately races to stop out anybody holding shorts. I do want to take a look at gold just to keep an eye on how gold's performing. And look at that, 9:30 manipulates lower on gold as well. So yeah, I think we're gonna get that power of three where the market opens, sweeps liquidity. No reason for gold to be weak, right? Gold is in very bullish protocol right now. So no reason for it to be weak for too long. You see the market open opposite. We're probably gonna see some sort of sweep, fill this gap, and then continue. Ideally, right? Depending on how long price wants to manipulate lower. Ooh, so that's my game plan. Nice. See what ends up happening here. Want to erase this bullish gap. I'm sorry, bullish zone here. We've taken that high right on cue. We drive into it. Like I mentioned, price should respect this level at least and then take this high. Now that this high is taken, I want to see an aggressive move lower. All right. Probably focus on Nas today. The Nasdaq. See if we can get some sort of selling pressure from this zone here. Daily chart. Previous daily high could be hit before we go lower. Keep that in mind. We got this previous 4-hour high being swept here. So yeah, we're chilling. We are chilling. All right. Let's see what happens here. Patience is gonna be the play every day, right? Patience, patience. All right, here we go. 10:30 opening with a really clean profile here. Let's see if this gives a clean delivery out of it. Want to see a strong move back inside this red box here. Thirty-minute chart. Nice liquidity down here. Fair value gap wide open. Looking to see if price wants to actually trade back into this gap. At the very least here, we should get some sort of selling pressure. All right, so yeah, I'm just looking for a solid drive back into here. So far, I haven't been able to push into it, so I'll wait for that. Looks pretty solid so far. I'm expecting price to open here at 10:30. I'm expecting the algo to send price back into this red zone here and then trade lower. Drag it over a bit here. I don't understand why. Is there more than one line? Okay. Make this line a little bit more transparent. There you go. Nice. All right. Yeah, so I'm looking for price to drive into here. Notice price hesitating at this high. Take out this overnight high, fill in the gap all the way here for NQ. Immediate rejection out of it. I'm just looking for a clean retest here inside of this new 30-minute candle. Hopefully it doesn't try to free fall from here, but we'll see. Probably some imbalance down here or an order block that's going to send price right back up into here. Hopefully, right? I'm hoping price isn't just going to free fall because we are overextended. Price is way too high based on, the circumstances. So it could try to run here. I just hope it doesn't. So what do we get? Do we get any? So we got somewhat of a drive. This candle here tried to drive higher, but we just failed to. I guess we tapped it, bro. If that's enough to send price lower, notice this very tiny tap. If that's enough to send price lower, that'll be so trash. Let's see, we have, okay, nice. So we have this 5-minute gap here. Let's see if we can get some buyers to push price back into this red zone here. And then once price taps into this red zone, I'll be looking for a reversal protocol to trade lower. First target would be this swing low right here. It's 10 a.m. swing low. And then if I turn my indicators on, should be able to target 9:30 open as well. or this weekly open price here. Man, this sucks, bro. Maybe 10 a.m. gives us a bounce here, but it's not looking too good, man. Price is already just falling. That's tough, bro. Because if you look, the 1 minute did. All right, I'm gonna keep my eye on this gap right here. If this gap holds up, I'm hip. This bearish candle right here. If price can drive into it and give you a strong rejection out of it, I'm hip for a short. Because we're, like I mentioned, we're already extremely weak. The market overextends higher right to fill in that gap. I think we're gonna miss it, bro. This is the type of stuff that happens when you're at war. It'll pretend just to shake people out, but once it shakes people out, it'll fly away, bro. I can't chase it either. Let's see if there's any 1 minute gaps over here. No. So that's a good sign. There's no, well, I guess this is a 1 minute gap here on ES. Check NQ compared to, yeah, NQ's not giving any 1 minute bearish gaps, which is good. Maybe we can get that push higher then, but welcome to the NASDAQ here, bro. I need a, similar to a couple trades I took last week. I want that manipulation, a quick drive up into here. There you go. That's what you want to see. You want to see price accelerate into a bearish area of interest and then hit a wall. Basically just completely stop what it's doing. That's the best reversal profile typically. That's what I'm looking forward to, right? Clean area of interest and then a accelerated obvious manipulation back into that area. And then once price gets into here, I want to see it completely lose all of this momentum and stall out and then reverse. I think this is probably going to be the area of interest on YM here. And then looking across the board, if we look which one actually filled the gap all the way, we can see that YM, where's that gap? We see YM fill the gap all the way. We see everything fills the gap, I think, right? Yeah, everything fills this gap 100%. So I'm not sure which one's weaker. You can just sit back and short any one of them, I guess. I'm gonna go with NASDAQ. NASDAQ is slightly weaker, but it all depends on how price responds inside of this area. Beautiful. We're back in that zone. Beautiful. Whichever one is the weaker one inside of this zone is the one I'm going to short. YM is clearly the weakest one. I might have to short YM today. Yeah, I may have to short YM. Let's see. I'll just wait for that confirmation on NASDAQ and ES. And if YM is unable to tap into this red box, that's telling me YM is weaker. I'll be looking to short YM. Excellent drive. Excellent drive. There we go. This is exact. Yeah, this should be clean. If we can reject this area here, I'm gonna hammer this short. Let me clean up my chart a little bit and put some targets in here. 930 is pretty far away, so honestly, whatever you want to target down low, midnight, probably the safest place. You might get a bounce from midnight, but There we go. All right. So what do I want to see here? ES is weaker right now. Still have this bullish gap here, bullish candle. Could send price a little higher before you get that selling pressure. Um, Reading the chat here says, why did you know it was gonna trade back? Well, I trade the power of three, bro. So if you go to 30-minute or the hourly chart, right? I like to see price try and fill in areas of interest and then reverse, right? So if I'm bearish, right, I want to see price open a new 30-minute candle, as you can see here, right? If I'm bearish, I want to see price open this new 30-minute candle here at 10:30, and I want to see it go opposite, right? So if I'm bearish, which I am, I want to catch the power of three, meaning price will go the opposite way before it goes the real way. All right, so if I'm right here and this ends up being one of my favorite setups, you're gonna see 10:30 open, drive into a bearish area. This is your bearish area in the red here. It's gonna drive into it, and then from here you'll get the real move. Right? Sometimes you'll get market will just open a new candle and then just run away. Sometimes you get that, but most times you get the power of three. So when you say back to that hourly FEG, let's go to the hourly here. What are you looking at? You mean this gap up here? This was from overnight, right? So market likes to fill in gaps from overnight. So this right here was almost automatic, right? You see price break out, it's likely to trade back into it. Oh, why didn't I take the short at 10:15? Let's see, where's 10:15? Oh, because I'm a break and retest guy, bro. So I'm waiting for that first selling pressure to show. Right? So now that we get that selling pressure, I'm looking for price to push into it again and show me that it's legit. You know what I mean? So sometimes it'll sell off, like you'll drive into here and then it'll just completely fall off the cliff, right? It'll just keep going. But I don't care about those trades, right? It helps make my trading plan simple. It helps me stick to the plan, and it helps me not like FOMO or chase into trades. So anytime I have an area of interest, I wait for it to show me show me some sort of break. And then that retest is where I'm looking to get involved, because most trades will give you a retest. Like if you go look, you just zoom in here. Let's just go look. Um, like here, this is a perfect example, right? You see things like this happen all the time where you get price drive into something bearish here. It may run away at first, right? But if you're waiting for a retest, you can say, all right, this area looks clean. I can wait for a retest and then get in here. Or another example would be this sell-off, this massive sell-off here. You wait for a pullback and get in. Just wait for the break and retest. Sometimes it's not clean, that's trading, but when it is clean, the break and retest is fire. Like here, I think we took this short on Thursday, if I'm not mistaken. I don't remember, but it's gonna look like this, right? You see how you get this 5-minute break of structure? What happens if you try to chase it? There's no point. Just wait for a pullback and look for some sort of confirmation in this area, and then you catch the move. No harm at all. Straight profits, not much drawdown, right? So just a break and retest trader, bro. And let me see if I can show you the trade from last week, which was a perfect break and retest, right? Here it is right here. All the trades are posted in here, by the way. So if you're new, you can go look at our trading history. Everything is documented. But this is the trade here. Copy this. We got this short. Where'd the picture go? Oh, I got it. So we had this short right here on the break and retest. Same protocol. We got this 5-minute break. You see the red box. This is my area of interest. I just want to see price trade back into it and give me some sort of sell signal. That was my short there. And then we have another break and retest right here. So this is exactly what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for anything different, right? So this helps keep your trading plan simple, bro. You don't want to complicate trading. Otherwise, you'll have gray hair by the time you're 30. But here was your break, right? We filled into a higher time frame area. I got my area of interest. I simply wait for a new 30-minute candle, right? What do you know? As soon as 11:30 opens, price races right back to give me a retest, and I enter on the break again. And that was another clean trade, right? All of the trades this year literally look just like this. All right, so now when I zoom into live price action, we should start seeing price do the same exact thing. And let's see if we catch a short again here. There goes your selling pressure stepping up again. I just need to see. Oh yeah, this is nice. Let's see here. Clean up this. Oh yeah, so we got to drive right back in. 10:30 opens. We drive right back into this area of interest. All right, these levels here. Notice we get the SMT off the high. So this is showing you that price is manipulating. We get that divergence off the top. NASDAQ takes the high. So therefore, I'm not looking to short NASDAQ. NASDAQ is the one that's manipulating. I want to short the one that's weaker. All right, so we get this move here. You can short ES or YM. I think YM will probably be the better short. Let's see here. We also tap into that zone. SMT off the high. Perfect, perfect, perfect. Now I'm looking for a break of structure on the 1 minute to confirm that price is ready to go lower. So far, no breaks in structure, so I'm not gonna short this yet. All right, we got a nice rejection candle where you get these two bearish candles, but we haven't taken out any lows or anything. So what I wanna see is, I wanna see price put in a short-term low like this, See how we put this low in? If we can just push up and then break this low, then I'm looking to go lower like that. I just need to see price break a low in here. So far, no lows have been broken, but I'm loving the algorithm here. The algorithm is giving you exactly what typically happens before it falls. So we'll see. Either this is gonna just keep ripping through and I won't get my short, or this is gonna give you literally the same trade that I want to see in this scenario. I would love to see this SMT stay intact here. I don't want to see ES take this high. That would be ideal. And then a flip through this low here would start my selling process. As I mentioned, ES is going to be the one I'm looking to short, or YM. Just depends on which one gives the best entry here. Also here, I'll drop the link to the chat room here. There you go. But you can see the exhaustion, right? You see how fast price traded into this area of interest, and then you see price hit the brakes and start accumulating. So this is your power of three, where you get either you're going to get manipulation first, which this is your manipulation leg. We're manipulating back into bearish territory, and then you're going to get accumulation. All right. Power of three is simply, which I'm sure everyone knows power of three if you've been trading. Power of three, manipulate, accumulate, and there goes your break of structure, and then deliver. So there goes your break of structure. And now I'm looking for my trade here. Let me draw this up. So my contracts are gonna be, I want to get in somewhere down here. If I can get a stop above this high right here, that'll be about 16 points. All right, 16-point stop would equal 16 points is about 5 micros. All right, I'm going 5 micros, $500 risk here. Maybe 6. Yeah, I'll go 6 because I like this setup a lot. Markets are likely going to free fall soon here, so let's get that market structure shift on YM as well. We just haven't seen it yet, but it should happen any second now. And once I see that, I'll be looking to short somewhere down in here. 16-point stop, 6 micros. Oh, there goes some speed. Don't run away, please. All right, there goes your market structure shift here. Dang, I don't want to get in just yet. It should pull back and fill in one of these gaps here. Oh, please don't run away. All right, so yeah, the way I'm gonna play this is I'm gonna see if we can get this gap fill on the 1-minute chart. If it doesn't want to fill in one of these 1-minute gaps, that's just unfortunate, but the profile is officially confirmed, so I don't want to get a bad entry price. If I can get a good entry here, I'm gonna try this short. Simple pullback and fill in this gap. Man, I hope it doesn't run on me. All right, let's see. I'm gonna zoom in on ES here. Well, I'll watch NASDAQ because NASDAQ may fill the gap and ES may not because ES is slightly weaker. Bro, don't do this to me, kid. Oh my goodness, it might try to run, bro, and I may have to just get in here and make a bigger stop, 18-point stop. Come on, just fill the gap. There we go. There we go. So my ideal entry price would be somewhere down here around 68.57, 16-point stop. There we go. Nice. Nice. We got this break of structure. We got this area of interest right here is where I'm looking for price to reject. There we go. Nice acceleration into that area. So now we get to see if price is really gonna stop. That's the best type of retest, a fast move back into it. So when price starts to slam away from here, I have no reason to skip this trade. I'm gonna short it. Ideal entry 68.58, somewhere in there. 16 points. I said about 6 micros, 5 micros. And then what is YM up to? Nice, YM pushing back as well. Let's see if we get this strong rejection here. And keep in mind, there is a new 30-minute candle on the way, which means that manipulation is probable. Once you start paying attention to how price behaves in 30-minute cycles, you'll realize that manipulation likes to step in when a new 30-minute candle is open. So just like here, right? As soon as 10:30 hit, what happens? Price manipulates higher, even though it should be bearish. Price manipulates to retest, gives you this SMT, manipulates the high over here on NASDAQ. And then so now, being that it's 10:57, at 11 a.m., we could get another manipulation higher. Price could still sweep this high again if it wants to at 11 a.m. And then you get your short after that sweep, and then you should be safe for your delivery. So that's what I'm looking for. I love price stalling in this area once again. We're gonna get this 1 minute fair value gap here, which can serve as some sort of inversion opportunity. Price can flip this and get back underneath this black line here. I like it for lower. And I may even short a little sooner, 659. Yeah, 68.59 looks fine to me. Let's see if we get some pressure here. All right, so yeah, algorithm literally trading step for step how I would want it to. You want to see the selling pressure take over here. Anything inside of this yellow zone is bearish territory. And what do you know? Right at 11 o'clock, YM is sweeping out highs here, breaking this yellow zone. However, we see NASDAQ and ES are still trading within that zone. So the moment we can close underneath this bullish leg here and then close back underneath this black line, I am opening my short positions. I need to see ES flip this gap as well, this bullish candle right here, a strong close underneath it. And my ideal entry price once again is going to be 68.59 with a 16-point stop. Really, I could go 14 points, add a point and a half, 2 points to protect this high right here. And so far, so good. Just waiting on that final closure here. And I may even do a 5-minute closure because price can sometimes be irky jerky on that 1 minute. It'll close through and then get right back up. So a 5-minute closure underneath this black line would be showtime. But so far, so good though. This looks A++. Just looking for that. Oh, here we go. YM is manipulating heavily into here now. This might change things. YM just manipulated well past this yellow zone. As long as we stay inside of here over here, I'm cool with it. But I would need to see YM break structure again to confirm that this is simply 11 a.m. manipulating. A new 30-minute candle decides to manipulate. And then we need to break a structure, take out this low. And then I'll see what happens after that. But good patience, man. Great read on price right now. No rush at all. As I mentioned, the market is going to want to shake out all those impatient traders who just can't help but press the sell button because it's a war going on. The market loves those types of traders, and it's going to steal their money. And as you can see, 11 a.m. is leading to more manipulation. If we can get more selling pressure here, this is going to be a beautiful sell. It's probably going to fall 200, 300 points because price is taking its time to manipulate very nicely here. All right, let's see, man. Let's actually look at this 5-minute chart as well. Come on, kid. Five-minute chart on YM. What'd you give us? All right, yeah, so here we go. Over-exaggerated manipulation here. I'm watching the 5-minute chart now to see if we start closing with any wicks. There's 3 minutes left in this candle, so yeah, I'm gonna sit back and see if we can start getting some wick activity, meaning price is literally just pushing up in here to waste time and sweep people out and then flip right back bearish. 5-minute wick would be a good confirmation of that. Still in bearish territory. Nothing changes here. Just waiting patiently for sell protocol to be complete. I'm going to erase these gaps here. This is why you wait for price to break the bullish candles because price will do this and waste your time. And then next thing you know, you get stopped out trying to short here and you're like, bro, it stopped me out, and it goes straight to TP. That's why. Gotta wait for price to finish stealing people's money before it wants to make a move. Beautiful break of structure here. And now when I see stuff like this, it's like, I may end up shorting YM if I get a clean setup. This price is going a little bit too far to manipulate here. Yeah, this is trash. Good patience, man. I'm sure a lot of people tried to short this off of these weird inversions and got slapped in the face. Let's see if we can get SMT off of this high one more time and then see how price responds here. I don't want ES to take this high, man. It's okay to take this internal high, that's fine, but this high right here, I would love to see another SMT off of it. There goes NASDAQ reaching the high. Let's see if we can get some projection here. Oh my goodness, no, this is crazy. Just ask yourself, like, who's buying this? Who's buying it way up here? Nobody's buying this right now. That's how you know it's manipulation. Nobody's waking up in the middle of a war and buying the tops. Instead, everyone's selling it, and that's why the market is being evil, and it's going to purge all of those sellers just for fun here. All right, we talk about it all the time here. The market is ran by the power of three. The market is not ran by how many people are selling versus how many people are buying. The market analyzes how many people are buying versus how many people are selling, and then it decides which side of the market it wants to steal. And then that's it. And then after it steals money, it recalculates, almost reroutes like a GPS. After it goes off and steals people's money, it'll recalculate to where it's supposed to be. And then you get that real price action. So as a trader, you literally need to be looking out for manipulation every step of the way. So like here, if you were trying to short this, that's a rookie move. There was no manipulation before the short. So what happens if you did short it? You got manipulated. Even on these buys right here, right? There's really no real manipulation on the buys either. So if you're in a buy, you should definitely be taking your profit because it's going to come back and manipulate these lows. All right, so with that high being taken, last resort is YM. If YM stays underneath this high, then I like it. But if YM breaches this level as well, what I'll do is I'll just sit back and wait for another break of structure before I think about shorts. Price is too eager to manipulate higher right now. Because we could still go lower. We could still go lower here. Just makes it a lot tougher to trust the short when you see such aggressive manipulation. This is a scam. Good job, bro. I'm telling you guys, a lot of people are losing money today. I guarantee it. A lot of people are losing money. Here goes YM to the high as well. And if I'm looking like, let's say if I really, really wanted to buy, nothing in here tells me to buy. This is going to be your first legitimate break of structure right now. Just happened at 11:05 with this 5-minute closure through these highs. So that's your first sign of bullishness. However, once price takes out a high, you don't want to be too bullish, right? This is where price could reverse. So once you see this, essentially you just want to be patient and wait for retest confirmation. Really good job though. I'm glad I didn't jump in that short prematurely. Erase this. Look for a new market structure shift and go from there. One thing I do like is even though you see these manipulation moves, the market really hasn't gone anywhere. Right? We saw lots of volume at 9:30. And what do you notice? Price hasn't taken out any of these lows. Instead, we just keep sweeping highs. That's an algorithmic form of power of three. Price is taking out buy side, buy side, buy side. Eventually, it's going to start taking out sell side. And that's where I want to start getting activated. So yeah, good patience so far. I'm going to stand by here. If you guys have any questions, jump in the chat. Hopefully you guys are being patient. Do not let the markets get under your skin here and, force you to FOMO or do something a rookie would do. There we go. There goes that selling pressure, taking out highs, 11, opening higher, manipulating. If I may try this. It just depends, right? I want to see price give us something bearish and respect it. So here we are. We have this bearish order block. If we can get this bearish fair value gap and respect that fair value gap and maybe even get up under this EMA. Let's check the EMA. Yeah. We hold up under this EMA. I'll try that short. Understanding that price is taking all of his time and it spent way too much time just manipulating highs. We're going to start taking out lows here and we're in bearish territory. So I like that. And the power of three, right? You guys know me by now. The power of three is going to lead you in the right direction more times than not. The power of three is telling you just wait for short, wait for short, wait for short. Why? Because we keep opening higher. Every new 30-minute candle, pay attention. What happens? We open higher, sweep liquidity here. We open higher, sweep liquidity here. And then 3 times in a row, we open higher, sweep liquidity, and we're leaving these lows. This is where price is going to draw towards. This is where price is likely to end up. And there goes your fair value gap. And YM never takes that high. Excellent. I should be short in YM. I'm not even going to Not even gonna ignore that. There goes your bearish gap right there. Make it gray. Buddy. Alright, come on, don't run. And there goes your gap fill on ES. And look at the slant. I gotta short this. I gotta short this, and it has to be on ES. And I'm gonna go with like a 11.5 point stop here. Let's see. Man, this is tough. I want to see YM fill a gap, but it doesn't want to. Let's see if it fills it in. I don't think it's gonna fill it. I'm gonna give it a few points to work here. 68.70 I'm okay with. 12.5 on the stop would be how many contracts? Let's see. 12.5. 12.5 would be 8 micros. Yeah, this is gonna try to run. I'm just giving a little bit of room to work because I really don't want to rush into it, right? I understand that if we're right, we're gonna call the top of this move. And if price wants to sell off here, I can get in anywhere along this drop here. So I don't want to rush into it. Good job being patient. Let's go. Let's see if this gap can really send price lower again here. I want that undeniable selling pressure to show up. And I want to see YM give it as well. There we go. Nice gap fill here. I'm going to draw up a trade for YM. It's going to be a fat stop. But fat stop is okay if you're on the right side of the market. We know that the markets will give you 300 points if you're on the right side. So don't feel like your stop loss has to be small. You just need to have a safe stop and proper targets. All right, here we go. Check that EMA. Nice. Probably do like 135 points here. If I sold this down here at 48,842, I could go in with, I'll go on one contract. 500 is typically what I like to trade, but 700 isn't bad on this type of setup. This is a beautiful setup. And then look for 1.5 or something like that. Entry price 48,842. 48,840. There goes that selling pressure I'm looking for. And I'm about to short this with a decent closure here. Let's see if it actually closes underneath this black line here. Yeah, I'm looking for price to get under that black line. 48,840 is okay with me. And that's a 140 point stop. One contract, which will be like 8 micros for 500 bucks. TP would be 200 points. All right, let's see if we catch this free fall. And look at that. There you go. That's what you want to see. I'm going to stick with YM because YM is the only one that didn't take out this high, which opens the door for more sell pressure. All right. Yeah, one contract. If I did trade something over here, I would want to see price at least get up under this 30-minute level here. Yeah. Let's say you did trade ES. You can get away with a 17-point stop, which would be about 4 micros. If you did one full contract, let's see. I did 10 micros. This should be like 1,000, right? If I enter down here, stop loss up here. Yeah, that's not bad. 10 over there. And then if you did the same over here, it would be, oh, that's fatter. Just getting an idea of what my contracts will be, just in case YM tries to run. I like YM the most here. The bearish gap holding up, price taking its time, nice and smooth, clear manipulation of highs, clear draws lower. I like it. A closure underneath this black line, and I'm hip for the short. Same thing over here. I want to see price get up under this blue line. On NAS, notice there's another bearish candle here that's being respected. Nice wick out of it. EMA starting to become a factor for lower. Looks clean. Just want to see that follow through now, right? So let's see. Nice rejection once again. Let's get a closure underneath this blue line. We do have one candle close. Let's see if the 5 minute. I want to see a 5 minute close under here. And notice the EMA is still a factor here on the 5 minute chart for the buyers. I just want to see price get rid of all of this bullish nonsense. Start closing through it. IM looks good right now. Pushing up on that black line. Not quite there yet, but getting closer and closer. 840s. Let's see. Patience, 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 my friend. And then if I'm looking at the 5 minute chart, you're going to see the same type of deal. We're in this bearish area, and what do you know? Price is starting to close through these bullish candles. So maybe we end up giving the same setup, break lower, pull back, break lower, pull back, and then short. Or this is your short right now. We're about to find out. Give me a 5 minute close. There we go. Nice. 5 minute close there. That's nice. And we're about to push underneath here. I think I gotta try this, guys. 840s. Let's see. Yeah, give me that short across the board here. I am short. And I'm looking for speed. I want to see price race lower here, knowing that we've spent a lot of time manipulating. Put my levels in here. There we go. Good job. Good job. That's a good start. Now that we're underneath this black line, I want to see price just hunt these buyers. Great speed there. And we should, oh wow, look at Nas. No way Nas is doing that. No way NASDAQ is beating us to that low. YM should have a free fall here, guys. That's insane. YM just slapped TPs instantly. That's insane. Wow. YM, catch up. NASDAQ, closure underneath here was your short. But you would have had to have a massive stop loss. So that's kind of why I went with YM. You get a reasonable stop, and extended targets are pretty valid. But that's that selling pressure you want to see. And now you just want to see price free fall without giving people a chance to get in here. You don't really care for price to pull back right now. You want to see it just race lower. Floating about 75 points here. Looking for price to break this low right here. All right. And then from there, I just need to see a closure underneath here. And that should do it. ES, really good move on ES as well. If you were to short underneath, like I said, about a 12, 13 point stop, and you're floating about how many points? 14 points, not terrible. And then we have this these bearish gaps, right? The same protocol. You want to see these bearish candles serve as resistance for lower, and you don't want to see the buyers get any relief here. You want to see the buyers panic and then start flipping into sales, and then that should end up pushing price lower even quicker. Not bad so far though. Good start to this trade. Let's see how this momentum follow through looks like. All right, so what do you know? Look at the clock, right? Anytime you see random pops higher, just look at the clock and you're gonna be like, wow, it never fails. The algorithm is it's the same over and over. 11:30 hits and you get the only bullish candle. All right, so the reason I like to short the weaker one here is because the manipulation on YM should be a lot weaker than over here, right? Okay, look at that. You got a really strong push here at 11:30. So now you want to see that manipulation fail, drive into something bearish, which we're driving into these bearish gaps here. And then you want to see price pick up with a lot more speed lower. Should be a clean free fall, but with this new 30-minute candle opening, you just got to sit back and see what happens. It could manipulate all the way back up in here if it wants to, bro. But I want to see this EMA serve as our protection, and I want to see this bearish order flow continue to send price lower. And once price is able to close through this previous swing low here, this should be a bloodbath. But if you are bearish, if you are looking for the shorts to hit, go ahead, drop a like on the stream. And let's charge up these shorts, man. Let's charge up these shorts. Slap TP. Beautiful rejection there. I just hate that this 10 a.m. price is serving as support right now. We saw this serve as support before. Look how far price was able to climb off of that 10 a.m. level. So I don't want to see too much bullishness here. I want to see those buyers get absorbed quickly, and that'll pretty much open the gate for lower, bro. But 10 a.m. seems to be a a force right now for the buyers, but hopefully they just get slapped in the face pretty soon here. I don't want to see too much resistance anymore. Come on, YM, lead the way. Also, you know, you can partial here. I don't like partialing because that's what patience is all about. If I can get a good entry, I'm just trying to hold it until at least 1.5. But it all depends on how you trade, right? How your emotions are, how patient you are. If you don't want to hold, this is your chance to partial. So don't be upset if the trade turns around. You had plenty of opportunity to secure something here. It's at 100 points already. Yeah, we can't knock this one. You gotta let this one, give it a chance, bro. It's already at 100 points. It's only been like 4 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes max. I just need to see this 10 a.m. level broken, kid. Because we've seen the 10 a.m. level go higher, even though price is weak. 10 a.m. was a good spot for a bounce. So you want to see this level get ripped through. Otherwise, it's going to try to bounce again and try to make people think it's bullish, waste time. It's 11:30, kid. I want to see free fall. YM's looking good, though. All right, so with this, right, this is a potential break-even spot because of what level is being respected, and that's the game, bro. If price isn't ready to drop, I can't force it to drop. I can just look for the clues, right? And all the clues were blatantly obvious, but it's starting to be obvious that price is just refusing to free fall. I'm hoping what happens here, you just get a quick bounce and then you get that really quick sell lower. But if not, I think I'm gonna break even this and get out here. Yeah, bro, this is stupid. This type of stuff is, yeah, I'm not gonna trade that. I'll wait for another entry because not only is price bouncing, look at where it's bouncing from. We've seen price make new highs from here. So if it wants to make another high, I can just sit back and wait for another short. And I like the profile for another short, right? We have 11:30 opening, manipulating. Once again, we've seen this already. So let me zoom in over here. Yeah, let me zoom in real quick and see what this is all about. This is trash, bro. It's starting to range, right? When price starts to range, you want to protect yourself at all costs. Bro, this is so stupid. Could have been such a smooth short. Instead, 10 a.m. is a brick wall. And then we have SMT off of this low here. This could go back bullish. Yep. You see how price is playing the game of let's steal people's money. Let's just keep stealing money and go nowhere in the meantime. All right, so what I will say is we did get another bearish profile. We got price push higher, sweep a high, and break lower, leaving us a bearish profile with this new 30-minute open. Bro, this is a scam. I might not trade this, guys. I don't want to trade this because just think of it this way. If I'm bullish, where am I getting involved? Where is the break and retest? There's nothing down here, bro. It's just tap and run away. Like, get out of here. Pure manipulation. And then now, if I'm looking at this bearish profile here, this last bullish candle right here was the last attempt to go higher. So this should be where the sells start to pick right back up again. And if I do take another trade, it's going to be a small scalp. I'm not going to look for that big drop. I'm just going to trade it probably right back to 10 a.m. and call it a day. Because it's clearly just ranging right now. And it is a Monday. There's a lot of nonsense going on in the world. So if the market wants to range here, I get it. Some stuff is just so, like, just wasting time, bro. And I don't got time to waste. Hey, look at this, bro. Look at this. Right back at the highs. YM. Good exit here. I'm gonna. Yeah, I may end up not trading this, guys. Some stuff is just for the birds. Nothing bullish about this. We had a strong close through this low after making a high, which is a beautiful market structure shift on the 5-minute chart. We have YM failing to take these highs, showing us that the real bullish pressure is not legit. All right. And then we have the lower time frame showing us that literally right at 11:30, price decides to manipulate. So this is why I would consider this manipulation and not a real move. And seeing how strong this manipulation is, it was able to move 126 points randomly. It's just showing you that they want to steal your money today. And I don't want to give them a chance to do that. Yeah, get out of here, bro. Yeah, he says seek and destroy. Yep, that's exactly what is taking place here. It's just so evil, bro. I say it all the time. Like, I don't know who programmed these markets, but They make people think they don't know how to trade, but it's more of a psychological battle than it is actual skill. Like I can look at this and say price isn't going anywhere. Whereas someone else may be literally sitting here trying to figure out where is price trying to go, but it's not that complicated. When price is ready to move somewhere, it'll give you that move. This right here was just trash, bro. So it's still pretty early. I'll be on until 1 o'clock. So let's see how many how many points this can run up before free falling. Because we just refused to break this 10 a.m. low, which is impressive if you ask me. And here goes YM. Like I said, you did have a chance to take parcels. I'm sure somebody made some money here. I get stopped break even, maybe like $30 loss. And I'm chilling here. Let's check the news and see if there's any news on the table. That was still a pretty decent trade. I was up about $500. If I wanted that, I could have taken it, but I am focusing on RR this year, man. So normally last year I would have taken that 1-to-1. I would have been happy, but one of my goals this year is to be 1.5 or 2R on average, because that helps. You know, if you do take a loss, that RR definitely helps a lot. Now here we go, just racing higher. No way, bro. And this is part of the reason why I was anxious to short it up here, knowing that price might, at 11:30, price could try to snake higher. But this stop was a pretty massive stop here, so I think I managed that well. Just didn't get the follow through I wanted underneath here. Avoided the stop out. And then all I'll do now is I'll wait, because the power of 3 would tell me once again, just wait for another short, kid, because 11:30 opens up higher. Every single 30-minute candle is opening higher. 11 a.m. opens higher. 11:30 opens higher. 9:30 opens higher. Every single candle today has been opening higher, and that's a scam. Maybe we get like a PM session sell-off, or maybe like an overnight Asia session sell-off, but this is hilarious. I'm looking at the news here. There's a bunch of war talk, but nothing. Yeah, there's nothing really going on here. Oh, we got this previous weekly high here on Bitcoin about to get hit. YM finally breaks that high. Yeah, we're chilling. I hope for your guys' sake that we catch a short, so you guys can see how the power of 3 can literally either save you from, having the wrong bias, or it can literally keep you on the sideline until the conditions are safe. All right, so cool. I'm just gonna clean up my chart here and step aside, relax, make some food. Rule number one, don't let these charts manipulate your brain and make you feel like you just have to do something. Technically, you don't have to do anything, right? That's what I tell myself. As bad as I want to catch a good trade, if today's not the day, I'm okay with that. Because once you finally get an A+ setup, it's not gonna be stressful. It's not gonna be anything like this right now. It's gonna be entry, maybe a little bit of drawdown, TP. That's it. This right here is what you call a headache. Because even if you are buying, you probably got stopped out on this move down. If you did buy right here, kudos to you. That was a beautiful entry if you were able to buy down here. Same thing with the short up here. If you were able to just short this inversion right here, but it didn't give you a retest of anything bearish, so I really wouldn't have shorted it. I took my short literally in here, right? Maybe you could have had an aggressive stop loss. That would have been the only way you would have really capitalized. Like maybe if I would have, when I got my YM short, if I would have put my stop above here instead of here, which is risky, you know, because you can get stopped out, price sweeps this high and still be bearish. And those are worse. Those are the worst types of losses, right? Where you were right, but you decided to be greedy and put your stop in a place that could be taken out. Even though the trade wasn't invalidated, you get stopped, right? So I try to put my stop in a place where invalidation would come into play. If I got stopped out up here, I wouldn't be upset, meaning I was just wrong, most likely. But an aggressive stop here was your only play for your 1.5 or 2R. You get that easily. Just tough sometimes. But all in all, I'm thinking we do get a sell-off, but it may not be today. It really may not be today. It's way too many people online talking about short this, short that, market's gonna crash. And what happens? The exact opposite. I'm not really looking for buys, you know what I mean? Like, even if I was, I don't see my profile. I would need to see a 30-minute candle open lower, take out one of these lows, flip, retest, then I'm buying that. But so far, I think it's just a scratch type of day. One more hour on the charts. I'll be watching. We're about to close here, so we might get this short off of this doji candle here. So for me, all I need to frame a trade idea is for price to start flipping at the top, right? Because if you go back and if you're paying attention, you'll notice that every single major move in the market, I probably say this every day, but there's new people here, so if you notice, the top of every move starts with an opposing candle. So if I'm bearish, all I needed to see was price close through this up close candle, and what do you know? Price shorts off of that up close candle. You get a break, a closure through it, you get a retest, beautiful rejection, you get your short, you get EMA support, beautiful. A lot of people need all these weird confluences. All you need is a power of 3. What do you notice? Right at 8 o'clock, price opens higher, hits a wall, hits something bearish, and starts to flip. There goes your entry. Let's go to a bullish example. What are you gonna see? You're gonna see 10 a.m. Look at 10 a.m. opens lower. 10:30 sweeps out the low. What do you know? Price flips this bearish candle. You wait for a retest. We actually took this trade on Thursday. If you guys remember, I bought this right here. We caught this move on Thursday. Target the high. 150 points. Right? Why? We noticed at the bottom, first the power of 3, 10 a.m. opened lower, 10:30 opened lower, so I'm only looking for buys. I just need to see a break of a 5-minute candle, close through it, and just simply wait on the retest. You get that retest, you're gonna see exhaustion in here, and you're gonna see the same protocol. Price is gonna close through a bearish candle, and it's going to use it to catapult price. There's no other way price moves, if you ask me. Every single move starts with an opposing candle. Here you go again. The bottom. What do you know is at the bottom? Price closes through this 5-minute candle. What happens? Price retest it right here. And then does what? Closes through another 5-minute candle. There goes your opportunity to buy. Doesn't matter where you look. Every single move is going to start with a flip of an opposing candle. Not a fair value gap, not an inversion, none of that nonsense. Sometimes it breaks out like this. It doesn't give you a retest. We'll flip a bearish candle and it won't retest it. And then those are the days that are like, man, that sucks. But if you look up here, what do you notice? I took this short. I don't know if you guys remember, we took this short. What happens? Price opens higher, sweeps out liquidity, puts in this bullish candle, closes through it. I just need a retest to show me that it's really bearish. There goes your short. And what do you know? This candle right here marks the top of 500 points. And it's just one candle. Once I realized that, that's where my trading started to change. And that's where I could catch really big trades. All right, and then now here we are. What do you notice? We're not closing through anything bullish. So there's no reason for me to think short yet. This was a good short profile. Like this, bro, I've seen this trade right here play out so well that it sucks that it didn't work out today. It's just too much bullish pressure somehow. It's amazing, bro. I don't know where all this bullishness is coming from, but if you look at the bottom, you're going to see what price starts with a bearish candle. We push lower. Once we start flipping this bearish candle, I'm like, nope, get me out of the trade. I don't want to be in shorts anymore. The moment we start flipping 5-minute bearish candles, I know price could run higher. So let me just get out. If we got a retest, this would have been a clean buy. Instead, price decides to just run without retesting. So that's where there's nothing for me to do, right? Starting to look like a complete scratch of a session. Now it makes sense why we took the short, right? We took a flip of, where was it? It was here. When we flipped this candle right here, I know price could manipulate this high. So I'm watching all three. I'm looking for an SMT off of this high. And then YM gave us that SMT, right? YM never closes through it. So that's where I'm like, okay, if YM never closes through it, we get SMT, I'll short YM and look for a delivery. We get that delivery, but I was expecting a lot more, which is okay, as long as we don't let it hit stop loss. Great trade. And then now here we are. Look at YM. YM is closing through these up close candles, bro. YM is actually showing weakness. YM is actually opening higher. You get that power of 3, open higher, close through bullish candles. Now we're retesting it. YM is trying his best to go short, but it just looks like these stupid indexes over here, ES and NQ, are preventing price from going lower. Let me look at gold. I can even trade gold, but I try not to go against the grain on gold because gold is just bullish. Do not go around telling yourself to short gold. Let's see what gold looks like. Nice, there you go. I secured one of my accounts on that short because that one was close to my target, but all my other accounts I got break even. Nice. I see some of you guys were able to make some money off the short. That's all that matters, bro. Even if it was only 200 bucks. It's just about managing your trade. Anything except stop loss is pretty good. Once you really trade, bro, I used to hate break even when I first started trading. I used to hate it because I'm like, I'm wasting all this time and I didn't make any money. But the longer you trade, the more you realize that, bro, break even is a blessing. Anything other than stop loss is a blessing. Look at gold actually selling off. Unbelievable. It's doing the exact opposite of what everyone on TikTok and Instagram was talking about. You would think gold would be ripping higher. But let's just break it down, right? Let's see if gold would have given us a trade idea, right? So you have 930. That's another big thing. Don't trade 930. Let that 930 candle close and give you some structure to work with. Massive, massive. Don't even bother guessing what 930 is gonna do because it's pure manipulation usually. So what do you know? 930 opens higher, and then what? We start closing through bullish candles. Beautiful, bro. This is a beautiful short. What do you know? 930 opens higher, taps into the EMA, gives you a closure through. So all I need to see is at 10 a.m. I don't care about trading inside of 930. When you see price give you a power of 3, you wait for the next 30-minute candle to confirm that power of 3. And what happens? We open higher again and give you the same sequence. Now let's say if we get a market structure shift at 10 o'clock or 11. So here you would have been looking for price to shift structure. Nothing yet. There goes your shift right here from the same level, right? This 30-minute sequence didn't give you anything but accumulation, right? You're looking for a break of structure. You don't get that break of structure. Here you see price make a high, break the low, and pull back into a gap or pull back into a bullish candle, whichever one it wants to do, and then respect it. There's your short signal. The same exact thing I just traded, right? Step for step, it's identical. There goes your short signal, but this one actually follows through. You put your stop at a safe place, 30 points, and you get your 1.5, your 2R, whichever one you want, with no hesitation, right? This is the type of follow through I'm looking for. If it's not like this, I'm not gonna make any money, and I've accepted that, which is probably the hardest part about trading. I really only want A+ trades, and I write it on the screen for a reason. This is an A+ trade. You get a clean area of interest, you get a clean power of 3, you get a clean market structure shift, you get a clean retest with rejection. No denying this is a clean short. The last piece of the puzzle would be your delivery, and look at that delivery. Straight free fall. This is what you want when you're trading. If price wants to try and play around and draw down or pull back and, pull back up in here, I'm okay with break even at this point in my career. Because if it's doing all of that, if it's going out of its way to pull back all the way up here, it's probably going to try to stop you out. Because when it's A+, this is what it looks like. Imagine if we took this instead. Crazy. I try not to trade gold though, because gold is just not consistent. Gold can have this is a manipulation. Gold can have 90, 100 point manipulation moves and still be bullish. It's crazy. Like this right here, this whole sell-off could end up still being bullish. So you really don't know when the manipulation is over. That's a great example there. I might put that in my notes, but let's see if Bitcoin gives us a short signal here. We're starting to see that 30-minute exhaustion. We tap into that previous weekly high, nice wick off of it. Let's see if it left us some, no, okay, so we haven't closed through any bullish candles yet, so we would still be waiting for a short. And I'm pretty sure everything over here looks the same as well. We're getting some slight exhaustion, nothing crazy, but if we're starting to close through, there we go. Starting to close through these bullish candles, you could potentially frame up a trade literally off of this bullish candle. Trade back into it, market structure shift, retest that market structure shift, and hold, short it, kid. Don't let anybody on the internet tell you otherwise. And here we are over here on the NASDAQ. Still haven't closed through anything bullish, but I like that we keep opening higher. So the moment I get an A plus protocol to short, it's going to be very clean and obvious where I'm going to short from, and I'm going to just give it a chance to deliver. And like I said, if it doesn't want to deliver, go break even. If it wants to pay me out, I appreciate that. But today wasn't a bad session. I would say the only complaint is I don't know where price is going. All right, if you look at the higher time frame, where are we going? Maybe back to these equal highs. Oh yeah, that'll be nice. Price could jab into here and then completely die. Look at this 9:30 open, bro. No pullbacks on the higher time frame, guys. We got this one bearish candle here, and we closed through it. So this could be used as momentum, right? If price wanted to use this as a higher time frame area to pull back, it could, right? Definitely could be a case. And then you could get like a Monday power of three, a weekly power of three, right? So anytime you see price eager to go somewhere, just keep zooming out and get an idea of what's happening, right? You could get a weekly power of three where Monday opens lower, retest. Because if you look at this weekly open, it's right here. We open lower. Price could sweep this out, retest that weekly open, and then dump. Or price could give you a reversal power of three where we open lower and price literally trades all the way back up higher because the power of three started lower. So you should be looking opposite type of deal. But as I mentioned, I'm going to be super slow to buy. So if it wants to be extremely bullish this week, I probably won't catch many trades. I want those shorts. And rightfully so. Because when those shorts kick in, you're going to get paid. Almost instant TPs. Took out these highs here. We got this bearish candle here, which has a gap in it. Order block, nice. This area right here looks clean for a short, if you ask me. Up close candle. Starts a bearish move. We even have a gap to go with it. Price is tapped into this gap once and sold off. Now maybe we push into it, sweep this high, and then sell off again. You know. But today was a good warm-up, if you ask me. Mondays, you shouldn't have your expectations too high. Because it is a Monday, and Mondays are usually trash. But yeah, guys, 1 hour left. So far, so good. I'm extremely happy with the management here today. And let's say we fast forward a couple days and price is still pretty choppy, then I'll start taking my one-to-one trades just to, take advantage of whatever's being presented. But other than that, I think we should start catching some massive moves here any day now. We do close through this up close candle here, but we haven't done it on NASDAQ. So I would wait for that. Nice. So you see that exhaustion stepping in, and for me, I like to base my analysis on 30-minute cycles specifically. So here you'll notice at 11:30 up until 12, we hadn't closed through anything that I would say is bullish or bearish. It's easy to be like, oh, we just broke structure here, but this happened inside of a new 30-minute candle. So for me, I like to, like, my theory essentially is that the 30-minute cycles are pretty much shaping up the next move. So if I'm truly, truly bullish, I want to see price leave something bullish that makes sense inside of that 30-minute structure. So here I would want to see from 11:30 to 12, I would want to see it close through something bearish inside of this 30-minute window. So erase everything to your left, erase everything to your right. Did we close through anything bearish? Meaning, are there any bearish candles inside of this 11:30 to 12 o'clock window that gets flipped? The answer is no. We do flip bearish candles from the previous 30-minute cycle, but that doesn't really interest me simply because I understand that the 30-minute chart should use 30-minute structure to continue. So what does that look like? If I'm bearish, I want to see a bearish candle use a bearish candle to go lower. Here, perfect example. Bearish candle, this left behind bearish structure. I want to see a new 30-minute candle tap into this bearish structure. I don't care about this, that, this, or none of that. I want to see a continuation off of this specific 30-minute candle. That way I am following what price is actually doing right now. A lot of people would see this right here and they're like, oh, when price gets back into here, I'm going to buy it. No, buddy. Use the most recent activity as your momentum. Price trades directly through it. While people are buying here, I'm selling off of this candle here. Same thing any other time. Like, let's say I wanted to buy, I need to see a bullish candle close with bullish structure and then drive into that bullish candle, show me something I want to see, and I'll buy that. All right. And that's something that it took me years to comprehend and develop, because I was just like everyone else. Like, I'm just looking for areas on the higher time frame to trade off of. But once I really understood that, bro, these candles are working together in a very frequent fashion, then I started to think, okay, well, maybe I can trade like this. This is my type of setup all day long. Bearish candle, close through a bullish candle, give me something bearish inside of here. Let's retest it. If it holds, I'm short. That's my type of setup. You're gonna catch some sort of momentum. It may not be a massive move, it may not be whatever, but you're going to make some type of money off of that. So now when I look over here and I'm like, yo, if we want to just keep going higher, at least give me something bullish inside of here that I can work with. Like I said, when I zoom into here, I don't see any bearish candles in here, specifically inside of this 30-minute body, right? From 11:30 to 12. I don't see any bearish candles in here that would give me that retest and then continuation. So I just let that setup go without me, whatever it wants to do. See if you can find one. So like in this bullish candle here, if I were to zoom into here and it shows me what I want to see, then I'll start looking for a buy. Like, just to give you an example of what a buy would look like. All right, yeah, so this is another example of where I wouldn't even trade this. Bullish candle, any bearish candles getting closed through inside of this sequence? Nope, leave me alone. Try another setup. Let's find one just so you guys have an example of what it looks like. It's all been bearish lately, so buys, maybe go back a few. All right, here's one right here. 9:30 on Tuesday, you see a nice bullish candle close. Let's see if it leaves behind some good structure to work with. Bingo. Look at that. This is what I like to trade. Why? We close through these bearish candles, but specifically at 9:30, do we start closing through? Do we print bearish candles inside of this 30-minute candle and then close through it? Yes, that's the first thing we do. 9:30 opens lower, power of 3, opens lower. gives you a bearish candle. Nice. Can we retest this candle maybe? If so, I want longs. Here goes your retest. All right, we're driving into it now. So anything inside of here, I'm looking at the 1 minute and I'm saying, give me a market structure shift. And I'm hip for that. Dun, 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 dun. I guess this would have had to been your market structure shift right here, which bro, I think I took this trade, bro. Let's see. Tuesday. Let me go back in the journal real quick. Tuesday, what is this? February 24th. Yep, look at this. I'm gonna copy and paste it right here so you can see we took this trade. February 24th. What day does that say? February 24th, 10 a.m. What happens? Market structure shift. We start to turn. I'm buying that. Stop here. This was aggressive. I think, okay, yeah. Because the high was so close, I was okay with buying it aggressively and just going break even right here. And then I went break even and got my 1.5 and it was over. All right, so if I'm looking at it here, you see this market structure shift. It's subtle, right? But price taps into here, pushes up, tries to go lower and shifts. Once I see price fail to go lower and break this high, I'm looking for price to pull back and show some strength. And I bought it somewhere in here. I think maybe on this one. I think I was waiting, maybe ES or something. YM or NQ was a little bit behind or something. Whatever the case was, I bought it in this yellow box. Target the high, break even at the high, let it run for 1.5R. Green zone is where you want to see a tap. And notice how precise and how much volume you get out of that candle. We barely tap into this candle and it runs literally 100, 200 points without any drawdown. You know what I mean? So if you're new and you're watching me, that's what I'm looking for. Some trades I'm gonna miss, like this buy right here. There's just nothing I would say is safe, so I won't trade it. But it's 12:30. It's not looking like the shorts are gonna get any more pressure. This is crazy. Never would have thought today would be bullish. Yeah, guys, I think today just may be a scrap day. Protect your capital type of day. Overnight session gave you beautiful shorts. I was looking over here. Look at this short right here. Oh my goodness. Let's go replay it. It was at 9 o'clock, right? Or what, 8:30? Yeah, 8:30 to 9, and then from 9 to 9:30 was your entry. Yeah. I was watching this. I'm like, oh, bro. I don't like trading Asia, but this was fire. Let's go look at it, right? 30-minute chart. Waiting for a closure. Here goes your. I'll mark it off with an arrow or a line, I should say, so that I know exactly what I'm looking at when I go to the 5-minute. What do you notice? Power of 3 right in your face. 8:30 opens higher, sweeps, price closes through this bullish candle right here, and I need to see a closure. There we go. And then from the new 30-minute candle, if I see price try to continue off of this breaking structure, I am shorting, right? So let's find out. Does price try to continue? Okay, yeah, so this was an aggressive move lower because we open up, power of 3, what happens? 9 p.m. hits, price immediately goes higher, sweeps, does whatever it wants to do as long as it goes higher, and then breaks structure. We take out these lows. And then here, this was, like I say, it was aggressive. You probably don't catch this because it never really retests this gap here, or it never really pulled back into this change in the state or these order blocks, anything. It just completely melts. So I wouldn't have caught it. But the same concept applies where maybe one of these charts, let's see, maybe YM pulls back. Get a market structure shift. Not much of a pullback either way. ES, market structure. Yeah, so there just wasn't a pullback. But needless to say, your bias was phenomenal. If it would have pulled back, just know, you make money. Oh, it did pull back. It ended up pulling back. There it is. It was just a little bit later. Excellent. There it is. We pulled back into that 5-minute gap right here. Shows rejection. You can short it on the 5-minute, whatever the case may be, 15-point stop. Did it pull back over here? So it doesn't really fill that gap on NASDAQ. It just leaves, or maybe it does. Look how sensitive these areas are, bro. Sometimes it's stupid. Like, bro, just give me a better pullback. But look at that. You pull back just enough to tap into it, and the bottom falls out of price. Free fall. Right? So you can see it took me some years to see it. But once I saw it, it was like I was like, wow, bro, you can't unsee it. Every single big move starts the same exact way. It may not give you an entry sometimes. It may take off without you. But these moves are the exact same. It don't matter what session you're in. This is Asia session giving you literally 120 points, 200 points, 500 points. It's ridiculous. If Asia was like this every day, I would trade Asia, but Asia is trash most of the time. So that's why I have to restrict myself from even wasting my time. But when I saw this setup, I was not the setup. When I saw the sell-off, I just wanted to go back and look and see if it gave anything, and it sure did. Bro, this is a scam. Yeah, I think I'm gonna wrap it up here. There's nothing going on. Actually, you know what I'll do? I'll just go make some food. And if this next 30-minute candle, because I do have a cutoff for 1 p.m. So hypothetically speaking, a setup could literally appear in the next 30 minutes with this candle close, and I don't want to miss it. So I'll leave the stream up. I'm going to make some food, and I think I'm just going to erase everything, clean up my chart. Yeah, there's nothing of significance except for where we are right now. This is heavy bearish pressure, right? We see 1 drive fail, 2 drive fail, 3 drive fail. This is your 4th drive into this area. You should anticipate it to fail, right? You shouldn't believe anything bullish right now. You should believe it's just manipulation. So that's what I'm doing here, and that's how I can anticipate the short. From 12 to 12:30, here's your candle. If we start closing through these bullish candles right here, right now, there's 4 minutes left. This could be the top. Price will start putting in the top right here. As long as we can see it across the board. Yeah, so I want to see price close through here on everything. NASDAQ, ES, YM. There we go. Yeah, if we can see that, then I'll potentially have another trade idea. And then imagine we catch the top and it shorts all the way back for the rest of the session. Banger alert. So let me make something to eat and I'll be back. Cool, here we go. Solid close, definite close. My new strike zone is presented. I'm looking for a power of 3 here. I want to see price open higher, which it kind of opens higher and fails drastically. See price hit this EMA. We did open higher. I would like to see a better drive though. It's tough. This price has no business way up here anyway. So if it wanted to just free fall, these are the types of trades where it'll literally just fall. We did open higher. No, this isn't. You want to see something where you can get a definite market structure shift. I can't. Notice there's no real market structure shift. We tap into it. We take out this low, but I'm looking for a definite like swing where we give like something where we open higher and give a definite swing where I can see a clear market structure shift and then look for the retest to take it lower. So that's what I'll have to wait for. It's 12:30. Give it a chance here, but the profile is opening up here, so just give it a chance to generate that power of 3 real fast. Hopefully it does, but if not, it's okay. It's a Monday. I think this week will be another massive week. Just don't want to chase price, right? You just let the A+ setups come to you. That way you can have a long and fruitful trading career. You're not sitting on the chart stressed out every day. So yeah, that's the game plan here. Look for price to generate some sort of swing inside of this leg down. Just give me some sort of swing low to break and retest for lower. Nice. So I'm looking for that market structure shift all across the board. Here we got one. NASDAQ takes the low, clear swing taken out. ES right next to it, hasn't taken it yet. So see if we can take this low and then leave behind something bearish to retest. Like we take this low and then retest this bearish gap and clearly reject it. Then I like the short for lower. YM hasn't taken that low yet either, so we should take it here shortly. Let's see. All right, so here we go. Still looking for a market structure shift, but I love that price is accumulating and remaining in this range. I'll give price another 10 minutes or so to try and convince me that a short is likely. Otherwise, I'll walk away because typically by like 1 o'clock the market has its sentiment, has its bias pretty much. You know what I mean? Price is typically headed towards the draw and liquidity by then. So if we're not given a short here in the next 10 minutes or so, then I'll walk away. Still looks pretty decent, but it's starting to take up a lot of time, and that's not my type of setup. And then if you look, we have about 10 minutes left. I don't want to see price start closing through these bearish candles here. That would start to be somewhat bullish because we do have a bearish candle here. At 12:30, we open lower. If price starts closing through here, then that's probably going to end up sending price higher. And I'm in no mood to be buying. So let's see if we get this flip. If not, good session. No harm, no foul today. One trade, break even, and see what tomorrow has in store. All right, yeah, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up there. This just doesn't, it doesn't want to go lower, so I don't think I'm doing myself any justice here. Probably get manipulated if I try a short. So I'm gonna wrap it up. Decent session today. The volume is excellent. It's just not really what I would want to be trading. So we'll see what tomorrow brings, and I will catch you guys tomorrow. You guys take care. God bless, man. Be smart. If you are trading this, just be smart, be patient. All right. Catch you guys tomorrow.